Oh, hello everyone. How's everybody doing? It's great to be back doing another live upload. The festival has concluded in Cottage Grove, Oregon. It was very wonderful. How are y'all doing? I'm going to attempt to play an instrument I've been playing for the last couple of days, or trying to learn how to play. Susap, string tapped instrument, and I found I used to pull the string. I found better results if I just rock. Charles Longstaff, how are you doing? How's things out in the great out yonder? I found that I have better results if instead of trying to pull it, because anytime the string goes lax on it, it doesn't vibrate. Hey, Michael Dorr, how are you? You want to keep the string kind of halfway tight and just rock your hand. And now I don't have any formal training in this. I'm just giving it a try, so... And there's kind of a sweet spot. I either have to choke up or choke down a little bit on the string. Let's see where it takes us. Hey, Hola, how are you doing? Maddie, 88K. Then a couple other instruments I've been playing. I gave away a few of my personal instruments. Good friend. I went ahead and got this one out. I just actually today. Hey, George Campbell, how you doing? Mike Shaw, how's the Midwestern evening out yonder? I have this one. Anyways, I just today I finished up unpackaging all the harps that I had packaged up for the festival. So it's quite a bit of work to cart that many harps that far. Here's copper Afghan. The copper Afghan seem to be bigger than the steel Afghan. I really like this harp. I went ahead and I took the draw start out of it, aligned the reed properly so there's no longer a draw. On some of the harps I like a draw, but not all the time. George Campbell says it's awful hot here. Yeah, I bet it is awful hot down in the south. Yeah, and Gorka I just seen is making a larger, more bassy harp in the Afghan style as well. There's a steel one. And this one, actually, the reed actually came undone on me, and I had to recrimp it and readjust the whole instrument. Every once in a while, maybe one out of every 30 or 40 more chang, a reed will come loose. And it's not even coming loose, it just, there's a little bit of play in it, and it will rattle to one side, and you have to fix it. Only every once in a while. Let's have a go on this copper one. I pretty much lost my mind on this copper harp last night. Was doing kind of a pulsating in and out, open close thing, kind of setting it up like a drum beat. Do, 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 and going up and going down. Oh, that really gets the brain juices flowing. Something about that pulsating rhythm, that open, close, and controlling the breath really takes you to somewhere nice on the instrument. Wonder if that'd be considered sonic driving? I'm not sure. To do some more research on that. At another junction, let's keep it going with some more chain playing. I shouldn't be talking turned away from the mic. Hey, Cheeseburger, thanks for the compliment. How are things out your way? It's been pretty cool here in Kansas for July. 70s and 80s with some 90s here and there, which is really cool as far as Kansas goes. And as far as in July. How am I doing that? It's hard to do it and vocalize through it because it's more of a like a bouncing off the resistance of the harp. Somebody says, good, had my first Raging Lightning Storm session. Oh, yes, playing in, I wouldn't be underneath a tree or anything like that, but yeah, playing when there's a lightning storm, an awesome experience, the thunder. He says, almost struck by lightning. Yeah, don't do that. You don't want to be struck by the lightning. It can cause a few problems for you, I think. I was doing that really fast, stuttering breath with some open, close, and percussive is what I'm going to call that. Whatever that was, I started getting super lightheaded, so I had to switch over to just doing in and out breathing patterns. I don't know if that's what technically they're called on the job. That's what I'm just calling them, in and out breathing patterns. But yeah, that kind of, I think I was kind of starting to hyperventilate myself in a good way. Did I have a good 4th of July? I did have a good 4th of July. Went out and lit fireworks with my son. First we did the poppers, and then the poppers that you throw that are like a firecracker. Then we lit some bigger fireworks, and after a while I would hold on to him and I would light the firework and then run off. And after a while he started to get a little bit scared of it. He said, all done. He made the sign for all done and also said he was all done. So he was all done with fireworks. But he was pretty brave for being a 17-month-old. We're going to have fireworks with us. Let's see. Let's just keep it going with the more Chang. Feed this through a Mohan. I've been playing a lot of Gorka. Really, really like the Gorka because it seems like I go further in my meditation sometimes when I have a harp that isn't screaming loud. Oh, Mr. Free says howdy from Wyoming. Oh yeah, you're not too awful far from Kansas. How's things out in Wyoming? But I'm kind of letting my tongue flutter. So I'm controlling my tongue a little bit, but also letting it kind of bounce around in the breaths. Somebody says my kid fell asleep during the neighbor's fireworks display somehow. Oh, that must have been a tired young person. It says rainy and green here in the high desert. Oh, cool. And it's a different feel you get out of the Mohan. This is one I just added to my collection, one of his little engraved ones. I have some of the little engraved ones and some of the big bases. But thing that I like to do on my personal harps, I do this with Morchang. I do it with Homus too. Some of the Homus you get are kind of sharp on the end. Some of the Vargan are as well. I just take a little real fine file and just knock the edge off there. Because if I want to take a harp all the way to the corner of my mouth, I don't want it to be sharp. Is this a Mohan? Yes, this is a Mohan. I have the plain Mohan. I have engraved ones as well. All the engraved ones aren't up on the website. But if you're interested, shoot me an email, shoot me a message on Facebook at the Harpery. But anyways, we're not here to sell harps. We're here to play harps. Yeah, I suggest everybody take up a Morchang and start playing it. Because Morchang, they're just my favorite style. That and some of the acoustic instruments I really like as well. I like instruments from all over, but I'm pretty partial to all the different styles of Morchang. And I've got a different pressure to work with. I've got a little bit more resistance with the Mohan, so I change things up. For my class, my playing class that I did at the festival, what I did is I had people encourage them to get out several different harps in contrasting styles and play the same rhythms, the same percussives on them, and drift all around on the harp, because I think that there's a lot of discovery to do on every single harp if you do that. Oh yeah, George Campbell does love him some Morchang. You actually ended up getting the first of the copper Gorka I got in. I got one that I added to my collection. I want to add one of the bigger steel ones as well. And the thing I like about Morchang is they're not super expensive. Because a really, really awesome Morchang normally doesn't cost more than $50 or $70. But yeah, the festival was amazing. Had some really good times playing at the festival, hanging out at the campground. We're going to be doing videos on the festival for it's probably going to take me 2 or 3 months worth of weekends. I'm going to upload 3 to 4 to 5 a weekend so that we're not just flooding the internet with all the videos at once, which is a lot of work. Doing 3 to 5 videos a weekend isn't too much work. Sandor N, how are you doing? Hello, welcome to the Harpin'. Camping was good. We ended up losing our campground. Oh, somebody says what the... Oh. There's a comment there. But yeah, we ended up losing our campground. Our campground, before we had the festival, we had a venue picked out that would allow us to camp and also allow a stage and everything. But ended up the curator or the caretaker of that venue, their spouse got sick, wasn't able to do that venue. So we had to switch our campground over to a campground on federal land. And we got kicked out after a couple days just because there were some pretty strict rules that not everybody was following. But everybody was able to find a new campground before the festival as well. So the band scramble was awesome. The performances were awesome. Workshops, we did a harp hike. We hiked down to Spirit Falls, which was quite an experience. One of our fellow NAJH members Alex proposed and is now engaged. Proposed at the waterfall, which is a beautiful experience. Then we played harps and took a dip in the ice cold water, which I think is all snow runoff up there in Oregon. But yeah, it was pretty chilly. Just excellent time camping. George Campbell says, I have a couple of Vargans that I hardly ever play. Yeah, I have quite a bunch of Vargans, but Vargan is a huge... It's kind of like Morchang. It's not just one style. It's a huge style of instruments. There are some of the Homus that I have in my collection play and sound kind of like Morchang. Some of the Morchang I have in my collection play and sound like Homus. There's a pretty big range when you say Vargan because there's so many Vargan that are made. Russia probably, don't quote me on this, I don't know if it's true, but Russia probably has more makers than any other countries. There's just a ton of makers and a wealth of knowledge in Russia. And new makers coming out all the time. New makers are coming out all the time all over the world, which is, we're in an exciting time. That's a Morchang. We're just since somebody mentioned a bargain. I don't want to play Morchang the entire time. Yeah, I was doing. Oh hey, Uncle George Desjardins, how are you doing? Welcome to the live upload. It's been a week or better since we've done a live upload. The festival is always a ton of work to prepare for. Let's see. Let's play us a bargain. This is something super loud. Lots of back pressure. I always get a few clicks out of this if I play it super fast, so the gaps are laser tight on it. Let's play that like I was just playing the Morchang. I like to do the same technique or the same rhythm, same thing on a different harp and let myself be melded into the instrument. Next, I'll try this on a bass. Hey, Jonathan Riles, welcome to the live upload. Let's play that on a totally different style of organ. That was a mention of. One of my good friends gifted it to me. Lucky to have it. Oh yeah, I also added another hummus to my collection. I brought a pretty decent selection of Yakut hummus to the festival. And one of these got I think rain got dripped on it, so it rusted just a tad bit. And I took an eraser and polished it out. But the metal, you can still see the metal is still patinaed there. So I'm like, I don't want to sell that. So I'll just add this beautiful malt sub to my collection. Oh, Sean Jones asked, how was the fest? Festival was amazing. A great time. I would say, this is the third year I've been to the festival, that it was easily the most fun and best set up festival that I've been to so far. We didn't have it at the Armory. We had it at the Opal Center, and then had camping, had an NAJH campground, which worked out really, really well. So you got a more formal aspect of the fest and also the informal aspect of the fest where people are kicked back and chilling. And yeah, it was a really good time. The workshops were really good. The performances were really good. Probably seen the best drum solo I've ever seen in my life at the festival. That's probably going to be one of the last, over the next 2 or 3 months, uploading these videos, all the festival videos. That's probably going to be one of the last videos I upload because it's, this guy came, African style drummer from Cottage Grove area, maybe. His name was Fody. I think I'm saying that right. Absolutely amazing, like 12-minute drum solo. This is the malt sub I kept. It got the back of it got rusted at the fest. I think some rain dripped on it. I was fighting against the rain the whole time, but anyways, so I'm like, well, it patinaed it when I cleaned it. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna add this malt sub to my collection. I think I just made myself up an excuse to keep a malt sub thrown in my collection because I don't have it. I have his teacher, Chem Choyev, in my collection, but I don't have the malt sub. Oh yeah, when I got back to the fest, I have to play this again. Really enjoy quiet harps as of late. Doing that repetitive breath, repetitive percussos, repetitive open close. But I'll stop my ramble. I'll have some more tea, and I'll just get to play them. But yeah, festival I think next year is definitely going to be in that area, Cottage Grove again. But we're going to have a little bit better of a campground setup that isn't as strict. Because it was actually all right camping during the week. As soon as the weekend rolled in and all the families started coming out camping, started getting complaints about the noise and harps and drinking of wine or beer. They was pretty strict on that. So next year we're going to have a different setup that's a little bit more relaxed on the camping. I'm going to just let kind of stutter my breath and open close on an out breath, and then I'll open close on the in breath. Kind of a weird thing to demonstrate without a harp, but yeah, we will. Charles Longstaff said the feds don't like that in their campground. Yeah, we will have a different camping setup, and we did originally, but just it ended up falling through before the fest. So. I should probably play it like a Comus. Homus. Silent K. Oh, I like that. Stiff, powerful reed on it. Pretty clean. Long, tall trigger. I like the malt stuff. Yeah, I'm glad I found a reason to add it to my collection. That it slightly rusted at the festival, so I had to clean it back off. And like, I can't sell this. It was rusted once. It wasn't even rusted that bad. It was just a tiny amount on the back. You can kind of see it's just barely discolored where I buffed it off. Oh, yeah, George Campbell. This is one you might like. The Malt Sev. Really stiff reed. Tall trigger. Oh, here's another type of Morchang that I've been getting into a little bit. Probably the cheapest Morchang I've ever played, if and I can find it. Noor. Noor. Never heard of Noor before. Stiff, tall reeds, cheap. I think they're what, $14 or $15 shipped. I haven't got them yet on the website, but the Noor are pretty clean playing actually. They are super rough. I took mine and I sanded it just a little bit with file. You can also do so with sandpaper. Yeah, for an $11 Morchang, they are rough, but the sound, if you do a little bit of cleanup on them, the sound is pretty dang decent. That one thing about that overhand style strike, that is a pretty hard strike, which is good, especially on Homus, which is a Morchang, because Homus seem to respond to that harder strike a little bit more. What else should we play? We'll play a couple more. I'm going to keep this live upload. Hey, Joe541, how are you doing? We'll play something quiet. Raise my microphone up. Got my Blackfire box here. For the next fest, I always bring Blackfires to the fest because they're loud, they're not expensive, and if they rust a little bit or get beat up a little bit, I don't care so much about them. And they pierce, they cut through. I think for next festival, I'm hoping Masco is building me a custom 18-piece tune set, so I'm excited to get that. He's doing a different style for each one, so they're not all one same style. I'll be interested to see how that is. And I haven't had any of Masco's current work. The last time I got any harps from him was 2 years ago, maybe. He stays so busy that it's hard to get harps from him. He's a really popular maker. And a super nice guy. This is a Goring. Not a loud harp, but there's a ton of beauty in a Goring. Oh, them quiet melodic instruments I get lost in super easy. What was I going to talk about? I had something in my head right before I stopped playing. Oh yeah, at this fest, I felt the most comfortable playing with other people. In the past two festivals, solo play I do all the time. I play by myself, not in front of the camera. Then I play in front of the camera all the time. So I'm really comfortable playing the harp just by myself, solo. But playing with other people, I've always felt out of place. This festival, for some reason, this festival, I felt more in place playing with others, and I was able to latch onto a rhythm and hold it, and had some really fun times playing the instrument with others. But I think I kept it in my head that okay, if I have this rhythm, I need to keep this rhythm so that I have something to come back to. I don't think there is. Says I lost. I'm lightheaded from playing the harp. Anyways, I'm gonna play this one, the Susap. This is by my white whale of things to learn how to play. Susap's had the steepest learning curve so far. Maybe it's just because I'm used to playing the harp, and this is something totally different than the jaw harp. But it feels like a rocking motion. If you let the tension off, then the instrument stops resonating. And not down here, not clear up here. There's a kind of a sweet spot. You got to kind of feel around. It feels like sometimes, I don't know if it's just difference in how I'm playing. Feels like sometimes the sweet spot's in different spots. And another thing I believe is not strangling this, holding it more gingerly. I know that if I can get it resonating like this with a knot up against my mouth, that it's probably going to sound good when I put it up against my mouth. But another thing is not cramping your mouth on there, because the whole harp has to move. The harp kind of comes to you as you rotate your hand. Holding has always been a tad awkward for me. And there I'm kind of starting to slide down. I kind of started to slide away from the sweet spot. Anyways, I'm going to play one more harp. I love y'all. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more harpery. Tune in. There's going to be lots and lots of festival videos being uploaded over the next month or two. What should I play? I can play this one. Click free. Love y'all. Harp out. Adios. Be good to each other. Play the harp for the ones you love and also the ones that don't love you. Harp out.
Bye.